Well, that's really deep. You can't go on the deep end. I was in the shallow end. I thought we was going to swim a little to the middle, take a break.
And then just push you into the deep end.
Eat some watermelon. Yeah, okay, so we're just in this thing. Hi, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Susie.
And I'm Nest, and this is
Mom and Daughter Talk,
where we hope to inspire,
encourage,
and uplift your mother-daughter relationship.
relationships.
Thanks for joining. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when we release new content. So today, last week we talked about friendships and kind of how to pick them and different things like that. Take introspective into your circle. And now, first of all, happy month of November. Happy month. It's the holiday.
Yes, I know. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
You ready? You like the holidays, yeah.
Who doesn't?
Some people, it depends on what season you are in your life, I think.
Well, if you work in corporate America, you get a lot of time off, so I'm excited for that, if anything. So yeah, this time we're going to talk about friendships and what happens if, there's a betrayal that may happen or disappointment, and kind of how do we handle that and, move forward in love.
Yeah, and really, in the last program, we talked about the blessings of having wonderful friends.
Yeah.
But sometimes within that circle or any kind of interpersonal relationships, disappointments can happen as well because we are human, you know what I mean? Or even, unfortunately, betrayal. I think the first thing to realize is that hurt people hurt others.
People. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, so wounded people wound others, right? So let's talk about betrayal first. If someone betrays you, then really at the end of the day, it's because there's something going on with them that they felt okay to betray you, right?
Yeah.
And so, of course, it's hard to not take it personally, right? But there is a needful thing to kind of step back and say, you know what? I can't change you. I can't change what you did. But what I can do is take responsibility for my next action. So meaning I've learned I like the word reposition, meaning I can't try to change you, but I can change my actions and I can reposition myself. So I see myself as a pretty resilient person. And so times that I have been disappointed, or I can't think of a huge betrayal, but at the same time, I've been disappointed for sure in relationships. And at the end of it, I have realized to say, I'm just going to be resilient. I'm going to move on and I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn from it. I was talking to a friend of mine. Her best friend ended up committing adultery with her husband, right? So that's a pretty heavy betrayal, right? But then you realize it's like, you say that was your best friend that, got together with your husband. Then you have to wonder, was she really a best friend?
No.
Exactly. And sometimes, things come out over time and things, but I think that if you were initially a best friend, that they would not cross that line.
Absolutely not.
And so one of the things that she's learned to say is that she really wasn't my best friend. So there was a lady in my life, you know what I mean, that ended up getting together with my husband. And so she had to reposition her mindset, really, and to just let it go.
That also leads me to think, did y'all have similar morals and, values? Was that ever, did that ever come up in conversation? I wonder if, her morals may have slipped down over time. I don't know. I wonder if there was signs there to...
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I think it comes down to, like I said, wounded people hurt other people.
Well, that's really deep. You can't go on the deep end. I was in the shallow end. I thought we was going to swim a little to the middle, take a break.
And then just push you into the deep end.
Eat some watermelon. Yeah, okay, so we're just in this thing. So, let me get my bearings. Yes, so friendships, I can really attest to, when I was in my brokenness and my woundedness, teen, early 20s type of thing, I've been reflecting on this a lot recently. I've done a lot to manipulate people, use people, I'm talking guys and girls. In college, I was broke as a joke. I had no car, all this just time on my hands type of stuff. So back then I was so broken. I look back on it, I didn't even realize that I was using people, manipulating people. Like in my head, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to fill voids. Like I'm just not trying to deal with my pain. So I was really hurting people because I was hurt. But it was crazy because I couldn't even see it at that time. And now, since I have done my healing and worked to heal and become more whole, I was it was detrimental back then. And like how you said, like when you're wounded, you wound people. It's so sad I couldn't even see it. And when some people would tell me, it never registered. I'm just like, what? Like, no, I don't. Literally, that's all I would say. No, I don't. But it's like, oh, come on, that's like, just think. I don't know, if I could talk to my younger self, there's a lot I would say.
When did you come to that realization? Was it when you were in therapy?
No, it was actually on my own time. It was years later, but I was just reminiscing. Like, you know how sometimes like you graduate college, or you leave a job, and you reminisce sometimes about the people, different things that have happened or what you've done. So I was just like reminiscing, and I feel like God was bringing it back to my remembrance more frequently so that I could see these things in the old me.
Yeah. Talking about therapy, what are your thoughts as far as, I know there was a time as far as in Christendom where therapy was kind of looked down upon.
Wait, what?
In Christendom?
What's Christendom?
Or just in the Christian community, where like therapy wasn't really applauded. It wasn't really encouraged. It was more like just, trust the Lord and give it to God and it'll work out. What are your thoughts on therapy?
I think everyone should do it.
Yeah.
Because we all have blind spots, and it's hard to hear from somebody like a family member, because that's just my family member, that's just my friend, and you don't take it seriously. But when you have somebody who you sitting face to face with, and it's like you literally, we shouldn't run out the door, but you can't run from like the ugliness like of you that's like sitting right there in front of you. I mean, you're forced to like think about it, talk about it. Palms may get a little sweaty, heart might be beating. That's happened to me. But it's like, it's the truth that I feel you need to hear about yourself in order to be a better you.
Right. Because I think it's a balance. Because sometimes it is a spiritual thing, but sometimes it's a psychological thing. And really, especially a person that's studied human behavior, because really, again, there's nothing new under the sun, and human behavior is rather pretty predictable, And so someone that studied it, and you then open up to them, they can guide you and give you some practical ways to kind of overcome or combat that,
I was going to say breakdown, it could be psychological, because when you say that, I feel like mine and a lot of people's minds just automatically goes to, oh yeah, something wrong with you.
Like, for instance, meaning there's a balance of, it could be a spiritual thing, but at the same time, it could be something where you're dealing with as far as in your mind and different things, and this person that's a professional can help you to kind of come out of that, practical things.
Yeah, and I would just add on to that, not saying that you're crazy or something's wrong with you.
Yeah, no.
But I think over time, that is definitely like changing, where it was like, not even in the Christendom, whatever you called it, not even in like Christian culture or, religious culture or whatever, but in culture, like in the world, when you live your day-to-day, it's like therapy was looked on as a negative thing. But I love how it's changing.
I do too. I think it's a lot more accessible to people, which is great. Yeah. So let me ask you, Ness, how do you deal with disappointment or betrayal in a relationship?
Currently now, I'll talk to you about it when I'm ready. I can't even sugarcoat it. I'm very wise about knowing where I'm at, and if I'm pissed or I'm mad or I'm super hurt, I probably can't really talk to you right now. Yeah, but once I'm ready to talk about it, because the other person probably don't even know that they disappointed me or hurt me or whatever. So once I'm ready, I'm gonna talk to you face to face about it. The old me would cut you off, but that's very unhealthy, and I've learned that. Ooh, that's another topic, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's that. Like you said, I think that is wisdom. Sometimes just because you feel it at the time doesn't mean that it's the right time to talk about it. Especially if you feel like someone has really hurt you. You don't want to just say things out of emotion and just, to be revengeful. Take a step back. Rather than react, let's gather ourselves and learn how to respond. If you ever felt, disappointed or betrayed, there's life beyond that. Don't feel like that's an event. It's not a destiny. So don't feel like you can't move on from that. You can really learn some really good lessons from it. Yeah. And although painful, when you look back on it in retrospect, it'll be a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. We hope that you enjoyed.
But it really is where you have to look at, I forgot my train of thought.
This is... What the heck?
Okay. That was 3. All right. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.